Hey guys, okay, I'm back here. Um, this time I'm going to be making my videos a little bit longer. Okay, YouTube, suggested that longer videos are way more better than the short ones. And it doesn't really require me to say, whatever I need to say, especially when I know how to summarize it, because I know some people may like be disturbed in a way, like get really agitated, like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to sit there for that long and watch that. Hurry up and say it. Okay, I'll hurry up and say it for you. But of course, YouTube are recommending people to have longer YouTube videos because people like that a little bit more, which I have a hard time believing because me, I want you to hurry up and say it so I can go to the next video or something else. But they said at the end of that um, little short video that they sent me, um, that if it doesn't require you to um, take an hour to say what you need to say, then go ahead and let it be however many minutes. If it's 2 minutes, if it's 5 minutes, it doesn't take you that long, then okay. See, they understand because I was getting ready to say, I know good and well it don't take me that long to say that, and I know a lot of people do not want you to be there all day looking at that, but they would know better than I would know. So I went ahead and just started to um, put all of my categories, all of my titles all in one. And I'm not gonna lie, someone wrote me a comment on Dontrell. I'm sorry, Dontrell, I got to say this, but you're helping me, and other people who your feedback is helping me also. Even though YouTube had took away some of the comments and enabled people's comments just in case for bullying and things like that. So I'm just gonna have to put it out there. That is really good. And let me move this back so you guys can see me well enough. Okay, let me move this chair so I can, I should have sat in the other chair, but who cares, I guess. Okay, so let me just get started on talking about, I got my little handy dandy notebook that I kept, and I'm going to start, jotting down things in here. I usually save it on my phone. I don't have Notepad installed on my phone. However, I do have screenshot like everybody else. That is the easiest way. Just act like you're sending yourself a text message and then just like kind of screenshot it. And then when you go back in your photos, you can see everything that you wrote. It kind of like it's just like the same notes. It doesn't make a difference. Um, make sure anybody watching. Okay. Hey. I'm so glad y'all are tuning in and watching. Um, let me just make one thing clear. Okay. Make sure you guys can see me. Seriously, let me make sure you guys can see me. I hope the lighting is right. Whenever I'm recording myself, the lighting it seems like it's never right. But then after I look at it, the lighting was fine, so I didn't have to switch anything around or anything like that. Let me just make sure. Okay, everything's okay. Okay, so let me just get started on what I have here out of my little notebook. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 topics. Now we're going to see how fast it's going to take for me to say this because I know I'm a fast talker, and I also know that I know how to summarize things, and I will get you the whole story in like under 5 minutes, and or probably less than that. So I'm going to make it as detailed as I can, and hopefully everyone will still stay tuned. You won't get too bored and go over to the next. But like I said, YouTube already suggested that I do it like this in order for me to get more audience members to come into my channel. So hopefully, it's no need to hope. It is what it is. So I was walking down with the guy that I was talking with, not talking with like dating. I'm like I met this guy. He was a really nice guy. His name is Dwight, and we were talking. And but is his name Dwight? I'm not sure. No, it might be something else. I gotta check my phone, but he's probably gonna kill me for not knowing. No, I'm joking. He's not. I think his name is Dwight. Um, let's just make this one thing clear. I don't want to be too, but let me go ahead and get straight to it. Okay, the first thing is that baby will not live because of your sins. Now, let me just get this. I know that sounds, sorry, my nose is kind of like running right now because it was really cold in there and it's winter time and still. But anyways, I'm gonna make sure. Let me get to this. Okay. That baby is not yours. Well, excuse me, no. That baby will not live, that's right, because of your sins. I wanted to, when I heard that topic, when a guy say that, he said that while we were walking all the way on our way to the library. And it really rang some bells to me because I've had, I'm pretty sure you know some situations where um, people who had lost a child, um, let's say in the early stages, when their child wasn't even in high school, maybe when a child got in high school, or maybe when the child was in middle school. But people who have lost a child, they say that it's like literally the worst feeling in the world. You will not get any other feeling when you lose a child. That is so understandable. Okay. And I can't even imagine someone taking care of their son or daughter, changing their diapers for all those years, investing into them and feeding them, and going through everything that they could go through with their children, risking a lot of things, and then next thing you know, someone else takes their child's life. Now, there is a reason behind that why they say that baby will not live because of your sins. Bottom line is, accidents happen, mistakes do happen. But if your life was in order, if you had the right mindset, if you treated your child the way you would want to be treated, if your child was literally acting just like the parent, then let's just hope that your child is acting like the parent who has good morals, good sense, who isn't the type of person that uses profanity whenever they're having their daily conversations. That tells you what type of parent you are off bat. If you're the type of parent that likes to say, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, and cause confrontation with your child and have your child fearful of you to the fact that they can't even express how they feel about you because of how anger or vulgar or how demeanor you really sound, how you come off whenever you're asking them to do something or telling them to do something, that is not treating someone the way you want to be treated. This is just not just for everyone around you and your friends, but this is also for your children as well. You want them to know that as well. A lot of times when parents lose their child, the household is out of order. The parent is out of order and they don't really have enough structure there. And when I say structure, I'm talking about structure with knowing how to treat people regardless of your title. If you're a mother, if you're a grandmother, if you're older, anything like that. A lot of people like to keep a title and have that title determine the amount of respect that the amount of respect that they get. And a lot of times people change things up. In the Bible it does say respect your elders and things like that. Yes, it does. But what if you have an elder who is not respecting you? Do you still respect that person? Sure, you can still respect that person, but do you still have to deal with that person? It is at the bottom line, when your child has no one else to take care of them, or maybe they do, or don't know that they have someone to take care of them, and they're under your roof, you kind of make them feel scared and, I don't know how to go out there and be responsible and take care of myself without my parent. Right now, I can't go anywhere because, I don't have anywhere to go. I've never went out of my house or left my mother or my father, whoever is raising me. And and see that right there is a big red flag whenever there is literally um a problem within the home. If you're not knowing, if you don't really know how to chat or talk or be honest with something without picking on someone, because that is usually the issue. A lot of our parents will literally sit there and pick on the child, not knowing that it's a learning process, and the learning process requires you to know that that person has feelings, whether they're your child or not. And a lot of times, a lot of parents who lose a child with out in the streets with violence, is dealing with guns or drugs or just anything violent that started from the home. Your mother and father may not be violent, but like they may not be using weapons out there in the street, but I'm pretty sure back in their day they did, and they bragged or brung up stories like that towards their children and made them feel comfortable enough to protect themselves. And knowing that there are other ways to carry yourself and to acknowledge your child that this is a way of you living, and this is the way you should protect yourself if someone ever approach you in this type of manner. I've literally had a father who I used to work with. His son was on YouTube, and I looked at the YouTube channel, and he had nothing but, he talked about, he was a rapper. He was a upcoming rapper, and he was really really young. He wasn't even, oh my god, he wasn't even 20 years old, and he was getting ready to turn 21, I believe. But his YouTube channel, he was rapping about, drugs and sex and girls, and you know, it wasn't so much of the girls and the sex. It was really more of the, I have a gun, I have a weapon, this is what I'm gonna do, my homeboys, I'm in the gang, this and that, and the third. And it already raised like a red flag to me whenever I seen this guy's son literally rap about things that did not literally send a message, a positive message. And the long story short, the father actually mentioned to me that, he felt bad about him raising his son into not being fearful enough of other people, but whenever it was time to fight back, which is, there's many ways to fight back, but whenever there was time to fight back, to not be scared. And that was the issue. Now, his father did have a drinking problem, and he took himself away from the drinking, but that was also a red flag. But the other thing was that the father's lifestyle was not treating that person the way they want to be treated. He didn't teach that to his son. He taught his son to fight back, use weapons, and not be scared of another person. His son actually got killed at a nightclub event, where there was a guy talking with another girl who was dating, but the girl liked his son and showed some type of favoritism, but she was still talking to the other guy, and the other guy got jealous, and the other guy stood up to him and pointed a gun, and it ended up being, he had this mentality, I'm a thug-like type person. I'm not going to show him I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. And that was the issue. If that was the father should know that you should not the father should know that, I'll tell you this right now, that father should have been registered in their head. That father should not want someone to point a gun at him. So whenever that father got scared of something, that father should have had another type of way of getting around or leaving a situation or being able to identify what was going on, the jealousy of the other guy, and knowing how to explain a situation like that to their son whenever they come against something like that. But the son would never have even came up against something like that if he was raised in the right way, to not even go to a party like that regardless, to not even be in a gang, to not even be rapping about things that are wrong. That is why they say at the end of the day you can blame your child, but at the end of the day you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to blame the parent, because the parent is the one to made it look like it was okay to live the lifestyle that child was living. Yes, children have their own way of living their life, but at the end of the day, who taught that child how to live the way that they're living? That's just serious. So, and like I said before, my grandmother lost her son, which is my uncle, at a very young age when she was, I forgot how old she was, but my uncle was literally 33 when he passed away. But my grandmother would tell you that her lifestyle was out of order when her son had passed away. It was literally out of order. So therefore, she noticed that whatever your child is going through, if they're being disrespectful, if they're using profanity, if they're out there in gangs or shooting guns or thinking it's cool to joke around, play around things that are serious and not being responsible enough, and they cannot really get stable, that is your fault as the parent. Okay, literally. So that is it. And a lot of times I've seen where mothers have lost their child or newborn baby, or and mistakes do happen, or they have lost an infant or a child that haven't even been, a small child. Either they was out trick-or-treating and got hit by a car or something like that. Things happen, or they've gotten abducted. That is the parent's fault. Accidents do happen, but how stable is your mind in order for your child to be understood? Some people lose their children and still they don't understand that a life is so important. And some people have to lose a child to understand that a life is important. It shouldn't be that. You should understand that the child's life is important regardless. They shouldn't have to lose their life in order for you to understand how to treat people, how to talk to people, treat people the way you want to be treated. You need to seek God within you, and by seeking God within you is treating yourself the way others would want to be treated, and treating other people the way you would want to be treated. And hopefully the way you would want to be treated is not harming someone whenever there is a disagreement somewhere. If you disagree with someone and they're not attacking you and putting their hands on you, you teach them to leave, and you give them the opportunity to make changes and leave the situation, or help that person, or let that person know that what they're doing is wrong, without the attitude coming out when you're trying to express yourself to someone. It's many ways that I have utilized my thinking method and expressed myself into, because if someone will make me upset, and I knew that I can get upset the way they could be, the way that, if bottom line, if someone made me upset and they were really, making me feel like uncomfortable, and it made me want to overreact, and I know that if I do overreact, something worse can happen, well, then that's it. But at the end of the day, it's not always something that we have to consider ourselves doing. We need to make sure that whatever point that we are trying to get across, it needs to be in a way that that person won't be insulted, but they will understand that people have feelings regardless. Okay. Let's see. I'm glad that you guys got that. It looks like I'm at 20 minutes and my camera cuts off, I think, at 30 minutes. So I want to end this video, but I hate using Power Director, and I'm going to have to use another website or software to link everything together without the Power Director button going at the bottom. So I might just end this video. I think I am. Because this is really, really separate, and I want you guys to really, like, know that. But another thing is I'm kind of going to try to wrap it up really quick because I got like 10 minutes. Change it. For instance, if someone was had a method and had a rule of going to church, and they were literally at the let's see, someone had a habit of going to church on Sundays, or having a habit of doing things like paying the tithes, but it also says in the Bible somewhere where, you know, it is important for you to change things up whenever it's necessary, if your heart says to change it up. If it's benefiting you in the right way and you have a method that works for the people around you who are used to doing it that way, if it's meant for you to change it up in order for you to live happy and you're not harming anyone and you can't see yourself harming yourself, then go ahead and change it up. You know, that goes along with it as well. And I am going to end this video because I have a really, really, really great topic that may not require me to be in where I'm at right now for other people to hear me. So I am going to end this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be uploading another video sometime today, and I hope you enjoy it. So take care, guys. Bye.